I will chalk that down as things I did not expect to see. Good morning from Wilson Airport here in Nairobi. Now, you can't come to Kenya without heading off to try and see some wildlife, and that's exactly what we're going to be trying to do today. We're taking a trip out to the Masai Mara, which is one of the world's most famous national parks and game reserves, in the hope of maybe seeing a few wild animals. It's home to loads of little dirt airstrips that we're going to be flying around, as well as quite a lot of wildlife too. So why not come along with me and take a flight out to the Masai Mara. Now, Wilson Airport's a little bit strange. It doesn't have one terminal building like most airports. Every airline has their own building that they fly from, which is pretty confusing if you're flying with multiple airlines like I am going to be over this week. You've just basically got to find whichever building your airline flies from. Today I'm flying with Safarilink, who I think are down this way. Hi, morning.
Morning, how are you?
I am very well, thank you. How are you? All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Morning, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Can I get an Americano and a chocolate croissant, please? Thank you. I'll be over there somewhere. All right, thank you. A Safarilink operates a fleet of Cessna 208 caravans here at Wilson Airport. There's quite a few of them out there, and you can see the parking area here is absolutely chaos. The planes are just kind of abandoned one on top of the other. It's quite crazy, really. I don't know how they move, but in any case, all checked in. I've got my coffee. Now, one cool thing about flying in this part of the world is that your boarding pass has the aircraft registration on it, which is really handy if you're an av geek like me. Thank you. Yeah, I don't have one, so... Yeah. Walking on the ramp here can be pretty precarious indeed. There's just so many aircraft and so many passengers wandering around. I have no idea how they don't have more incidents here. Our ride over to the Mara today then is this Cessna 208 Grand Caravan, delivered brand new to Safarilink in 2012. Now, the flights over to the Masai Mara don't really have a set schedule. They just kind of head off twice a day and fly just to where they need to pick up and drop off passengers.
We're going to have 2 stops in the Mara today. The first stop is going to be in Ol Kiombo for Russell family. Then the second stop is going to be Ol Kiombo for Mr. Alireza, Julia and Mr. Neil. With us from here to get back.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So first stop, 40 minutes. For the next stop, 8 minutes from the first stop.
Now, today I'd be remaining on board for the entire duration of the shuttle flight over to the Mara, through both airfields and then back to Nairobi. First leg today then was a 37-minute hop over to Ol airstrip in the remote Naboisho area of the Masai Mara. Leaving Nairobi behind, the weather soon cleared up and we got some great views of the Masai Mara down below. Pretty soon we started our descent down into the remote Ol airstrip. At this point in the trip I was absolutely amazed. I'd almost expected to see some herds of animals from high up, but nothing prepared me for the sheer amount of wildlife so close to the airstrip. I was amazed to see a family of elephants not far from the airstrip, although the camera didn't really do them justice, but they were there, I promise. record short that down as things I did not expect to see here on this flight. I knew that there would be kind of animals out here, but not quite that close. We literally passed a herd of elephants right at the end of the runway. Unbelievable. Did not expect that. So cool.
We had a short wait here at Ol Kiombo while we dropped off some passengers to an exclusive lodge in the area.
Now, since returning from this trip, the UK once again has gone into lockdown again. Yay! We're all back to exploring the world virtually using the power of our computers. On that note, I've partnered with INI Builds to give away a copy of the latest version of the X-Plane flight simulator, X-Plane 11. It's an incredible flight sim, and they're also throwing in their latest add-on, their incredible Airbus A300 simulator, which is one of the most detailed representations of the A300 that's ever been made for a flight simulator. All you have to do to take part and win that copy of X-Plane 11 and the A300 add-on is to hit that subscribe button, which is somewhere down here, and also leave me a comment down below of where you will be travelling to as soon as lockdown is over. I can't wait to see some of your responses. In addition to that, if that wasn't good enough already, INI Builds are offering 20% off the A300 simulator to the first 200 people who click the link down in the description below. INI Builds also create a whole load of liveries for flight simulators, so you can travel the world virtually in pretty much any airline you like. On that note, back to the video.
We soon powered up the engines to get on our way to the next stop. We taxied out past herds of wildebeest watching our departure. Next stop today then was an 11-minute ride over to Ol Kiombo airstrip, about 19 miles to the west. We flew just 1,000 feet above the ground on this hop, giving us some great views of the wildlife down below. After what seemed like no time at all, we were on our approach down into Ol Kiombo airstrip. Once again, the aircraft here come really close to the runway. In fact, just recently an aircraft was damaged when it hit a herd of wildebeest on the runway here at Ol Kiombo. Ol Kiombo seems a lot busier than the previous airstrip at Ol Kiombo, and there were quite a few cars here taking passengers off to the various game lodges in the area.
Welcome to Ol Kiombo. Please below the request to descend the hangar.
Yes, yeah, welcome. You are back.
So here then at Ol Kiombo airstrip in the Masai Mara, stop 2 of today before we head back to Nairobi, and I have to say, safari so goody. Little stop here while they disinfect the aircraft, get a few more passengers, and then we're heading back to Nairobi.
And it was indeed soon time to get back on board for our ride back to Nairobi. flight back to Nairobi then took us on pretty much a direct track heading east. Flight time for this leg was 49 minutes, cruising at 12,500 feet. Before too long, the bright lights of Nairobi appeared in the distance and we started our descent down into Wilson Airport.
Traffic, traffic. Traffic, traffic.
A round trip to the Masai Mara with Safarilink cost me $250 or around £186. Whilst pricey by African standards, it was a fantastic little ride out to see one of the great wonders of the world.
Welcome back to Nairobi, Wilson.
Hello, how are you? Thank you.
Now, despite all airlines having their own buildings here at Wilson, you arrive through a centralised customs building. It really is utter chaos, as half the flights, such as mine, are domestic and don't need to go through customs and immigration, but some are international and they do. I've got no idea how many international passengers end up arriving here with no passport check just by following the wrong crowd out of the building.
So back here in Nairobi after my little trip over to Masai Mara. All right, that wants it. Nice little ride over there with Safarilink, and just I found it incredible how close those wild animals came to the airstrips there. I mean, I kind of expected that we might see like herds of something from high above, but to see those animals so close to the airstrip, it really was just absolutely phenomenal. Certainly a bucket list item ticked off for me. I hope you enjoyed that too. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got so much more cool stuff coming from out of Africa on this trip, and you're not going to want to miss any of them. In the meantime though, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.